Hello everybody. This video is particularly for that First Baptist Church in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. Why? Because they're still practicing racism there. What do I mean by that? Well, there is a black couple who's been going to that church. No problem. They're giving their tithes and offerings there, giving their money. No problem. They're taking their money, right? They have friends and family members that are working in the church. No problem there, right? But as soon as they want to get married in that church, no, they can't. Why? Because they've never had a black couple married there. And according to the reports of people talking to the congregation, we don't want to set the precedence of other black people getting married in their white church. But they had no problem taking their tithes and offerings for however long they've been going there, right? So this couple spends their time and effort getting preparations done, sending invitations, only to have the preacher or the Reverend Rutherford, the day before the wedding, tell them, well, there's a small minority in the church that don't want you to get married there. And to save controversy, and I don't want controversy in my church, I'm going to ask you to have it done somewhere else. Okay, well, so guess what? They do. No big deal. So would I. I wouldn't want my church. I wouldn't want to get married in a church that didn't want me to get married there anyways, right? They're racist. I'm getting the fuck out, right? But no. Of course, yeah, that's what they did, whatever. But they still had the minister, the same minister that's so spineless he can't correct his own congregation and tell them, hey, that's wrong. I'm going to serve the, they paid the fee. They've been, coming to this church all this time. They can get married in this church. No, he's a spineless minister, right? Obviously, he goes by whatever feels good and not what's right. Because, remember, God created everybody, right? And he loves everybody, right? So, they still had this minister perform the ceremony in a different church. Now, in my opinion, the couple was spineless for it too, right? Because and then they went back to the church. As far as last Sunday, they went back to the church, and then I heard this quote in the report that he said, "Fool me again." He didn't get the quote right. Fool me once, shame on me. But you're not gonna. How do you expect me to believe you a second time, right? So I probably won't go back to that church. Well, dumbass, you already went back to that church, right? So obviously you accept it anyways. So you're a spineless guy too. Because if it was you and if it was me and my family, I'd have been like, boom, put my middle finger straight up his ass and said, I'm out of here, buddy. I'm out of here. You can take your church and your racist bullshit and go to hell. That's what I would have done. Yep. And then I went to a different church, told them the situation, and after that, I bet you any other minister would have stood up and said, okay, yeah, I'll marry you. Not only that, I'll marry you for free. Right? Any upstanding, I'm sorry that you did that. I'm sorry that you're hurt by the so-called church, right? And probably would have married you, well, not for free, but probably would have given you a deal, right? Anyways, that's my thing. And you know what? If you're going to accept racism, okay, and if you're going to accept any type of that prejudice crap, guess what? Don't cry about it when it happens to you, okay, buddy? Because you're the spineless motherfucker that went back to that church. So I don't know what's going down over there, but there's a bunch of spineless motherfuckers over there. Because anybody that doesn't stand up against it and say what's wrong and what's right, then guess what? Don't cry about it when it happens to you. And again, this is to the Reverend Rutherford, his congregation, Mississippi. What's the name of the church? First Baptist Church in Crystal Lake. Yeah, thank you very much. And tell me what you think.